Howdy, howdy, and welcome to My Bloody Judy with your final forgets, myself, Zachary Patton Garcia.
And Ian Carlos Crawford. Hi, Zach.
We're here to talk about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies today. I was very excited about this movie, so I just had to text Ian beforehand before we recorded. And I got the not so nicest answer from you. It was a little rude, a little nasty, a little mean-spirited. You want to tell me why the fuck you didn't love this movie?
My nasty, rude comment was, I liked it. I didn't love it as much as you did.
I said anything less than love is a tragedy and an offense to me.
Okay, but I forget what friend I was even talking to. Like, I don't even think it's someone you know. I think it's someone that just listens to our podcast. I think I was DMing and I was like, oh, it was one of Zach's favorite movies, but not mine. And they were like, I feel like you and Zach say that about a lot of movies, that it's your favorite movie of the year.
We have not done this in a long time. This is going to be a return to form for me and Ian, where Ian was not so thrilled about a movie and I was in love with the movie, because usually when we started out My Bloody Judy, it was one or the other. We had very differing opinions, and now I guess we're being criticized for just liking everything and agreeing with everything all the time. So here we go. Let's get into this this fire starter of a conversation. I
told Zach before we recorded that he needed to be nice to me, so I had a rough day.
I said, I don't give a fuck, don't care, okay? I'm a hot girl, fast girl, can't catch me girl. This movie, I went into the theater. I knew that it wasn't going to be a horror movie, right?
I'm glad we at least agree on that.
Everybody had been saying that it was like a murder mystery, like it was like Clue, just, you know, with millennial / Gen Z. And so I was like, okay. And then once I knew that, it kind of tempered my expectations. I wasn't expecting like any slasher or anything like that. So I definitely
You should have told me that before I saw it.
Oh, I figured, I thought, maybe I did not. Anyway, maybe I should have, because when I went into it, that's what I was expecting, and that's what I got, and I was really happy about that. This movie, I laughed my fucking ass off through this movie. It was so funny. I had to see it two times. Funny, yes. The whole cast is fantastic. There was not a single person I did not like. I thought everybody played their role so great. It felt real. It was one of the movies that I have not been to a movie or watched a movie that made me feel like I was in the movie in such a long time. I felt like I was there with them in this hurricane party. It was so fun in that way. I thought the twist at the end was so cool and so funny. Everybody was laughing their asses off when he pulls up when they pull up the TikTok. And it's like bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored. Like my theater went fucking insane. It was wild, and I knew there were gay guys behind me because I could hear them before the show, and they were like the loudest laughing ones in the entire theater, and it brought me such joy to my heart. So I thought this movie was a 5 out of 5. I thought it was amazing, and it is my favorite movie of the year so far. All right, Ian, your turn. Why was it your favorite movie of the year so far?
I think I was expecting Scream, and I got Millennial Clue / Chuck Palahniuk's Haunted. I'm not a fan of those endings. Like, I hate those endings. Those endings are my least favorite. And I called it halfway. Like, the moment I was about to say, oh no, I can't say it's spoiler. Whatever. We always have spoilers. Yeah. The moment she killed Lee Pace, I was like, oh, there is no killer. Everyone's killing everyone. Like, I picked that up and I was like, but I hate that ending. It better not be that ending. And then as we went on, it was more and more obvious that was going to be the ending.
Well, then you're just a big smarty pants. Just big smarty pants who figured it out right early. I did not. I was like fully, because they do the stupid thing. So at some point during the movie, Alice was my favorite fucking character. And they do something at like halfway through the movie where Alice is like, he's killing everybody in order of people who died in the game. And that made no sense to me as I was thinking about it. But I'm like, yeah, she's right. She like convinced me. I was like, yeah, she's right. I don't know how that makes any sense, because it just does. The order's not making sense. But I still was like so in for the ride that I was like, oh, of course. And then when it turned out that Skeet Davidson just killed himself, I just thought that was so fucking funny that they're sitting there. Max comes walking in, and the two girls are sitting there looking at him, and they're like, nobody needed to die all night. Like, this did not have to happen.
I mean, so I don't know. Have you read Chuck Palahniuk, the guy that wrote Fight Club? Have you read any of his books?
Mm-mm.
No. So I used to be, judge me, this is fully understandable. I used to be very, like, that was my favorite book in high school, because fucking, of course it was. Like, I was obsessed with his books. And my least favorite of his book is called Haunted. And it's about people that go to spend the night in a haunted house and they're all scared of like this monster, this killer, and there is no killer. They're all killing each other because they're so paranoid.
Yeah.
And I thought that was his worst book he's ever written. And I hated that ending. This, like, I just the entire time kept thinking of that book. And I was like, I hate that book. I hope this isn't that. Ooh, I really hate that book. I hope this isn't that. And there were moments, I will say, where I was like, oh no, I think I'm wrong. The like when Alice got shot, I was like, oh, she is the killer. That girl is the killer. And I was like, oh no, she's not. And then like there was a moment when I did think Bree might be the killer. There was a couple moments where they tricked me, but I couldn't stop focusing on this reminds me so much of a book that I hated. And then it had the same ending.
And it was fantastic. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. It was funny. This is the thing with A24s. You go into an A24 movie thinking it's an A24 movie, right? So I was fully expecting the long, slow burn shots and everything. This is a tight hour-and-a-half movie. They get to the point. The characters are well formed through dialogue, and this is, I think I'm actually stealing this from Beza of Monster Camp on YouTube, and they said that the characters were like so well formed through the action and the dialogue, and that's rather than any like setup or anything like that. I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree.
I thought that was so good. And I think the fact that I just had such a fun time with it might be why I love it so much. I think this is quickly turned into one of my comfort movies, and I cannot wait to own this on home video. It's gonna be like Ready or Not for me. You know, I could turn it on just to like have something there with me, and I feel like this is gonna be that for me. Do you think that other than the ending, do you think that your expectations maybe dampened the movie a little bit for you?
Yes, you telling me it was your favorite movie of the year, and everyone in our group
I shouldn't have said
like,
that. I shouldn't have said
off
it.
about it. I was really like, because especially this year, we've been agreeing on like I think almost every new movie except for this we've agreed on, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That we've covered. So I was like, oh, then I'm gonna fucking love this too. Zach loves it. Oh, Beza and Chase loved it, and like seeing everyone talk about it so much, I was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking love this movie. I really was expecting like a Scream type slasher where
the
like
movie of the year.
Where like, you know, and I mean it was both like funny but brutal, but I was expecting like that in a Scream way, not in a like Clue, Knives Out type way. I
will fully take ownership of that, and I shouldn't have done that, but I was like so excited when I left that movie, when I stopped watching that movie. It was I just had the best time fucking watching it that I had to like share it with everybody, and I had to tell everybody I fucking loved this. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have let you go and see it by yourself. We should have shown up with our opinions separately.
It's fine. It's fine.
But it was just like it really was such a great time for me. I guess we can kind of get into a little bit. What did you think of all the characters?
I did. I liked the way so we talked about this briefly. Mm-hmm. How we both, like you said, you felt both seen and attacked, right? I did feel that at times, but then when we got to the end, it felt like, but everyone was too stupid. Like I just needed someone to be like, I needed these people to be like a pinch less fucking stupid.
But what did you think they were stupid about? Because I didn't think so. I didn't think they were stupid.
All the like murdering and accidental dying was like so stupid, and like killing Lee Pace when it was obvious he like was just scared because they had the knives. That was stupid. And like a girl falling down the steps and splitting her fucking head open. That's stupid.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. I think that was like brilliant. Like the Greg thing, the fact that they all assumed that he had natural born killer instincts because he was a vet, that they thought he was a vet when she actually meant veterinarian. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that he was on defense with them and they were on defense with him. So it would make sense why he would have a knife and why he would lunge at somebody. Right. But if I were on the other side of that, I'd be like, he has a knife and he's fucking lunging at me or lunging at somebody I like. And we all are convinced that he did this. It would make sense that somebody fucking like whacks him. And
I would get murdered in that scenario. I would, because I'd be like, you're all being stupid. Zachary, put that knife down, and then you'd stab me.
But that's the thing, is you have to put yourself in there. In the end, if you're in there, you don't know. Like there's too much uncertainty that you don't understand what's happening. And this is the only person that you don't trust, because like with Alice kind of trusted him more than everybody else, just like Sophie trusted B more than everybody else, right? Because they are the people who came in with these significant others. However, everybody who already knows each other, they're not going to point fingers at each other for the first time. They're going to point fingers at the others, you know? And so I thought that was like really well set up that way.
But so putting myself, like you said, putting yourself in that scenario, I would absolutely be the person that's like, you're all being assholes. Everyone relax. We don't know that he did this, because I would feel so guilty. I would be the girl falling down the steps dying, because I would feel so guilty if we killed a man who like didn't actually do anything. And unless we had like, even if you were like, Ian, here's video on the phone of him murdering Pete Davidson, I'd be like, I'm still not sure. So like putting myself in the scenario, I just kept saying like, I would be the one that gets killed, because I'd be like, everyone shut the fuck up. Like everyone stop. And then they would shoot me or stab me or whatever. So I'd be like, well, then now you're the killer. So I just like that kept playing in my mind. But I do agree that it is very fucking funny. Like I did laugh a lot. And I thought, is it Rachel? Rachel? Yeah, Rachel, right?
Which one?
The one that you love the most, or Alice?
Alice, yeah. Rachel said it?
Yeah. Oh, right. Her real name is Rachel.
Yeah.
And she's the like, it's LA, do drugs.
I fucking loved finding that out after I watched the movie too, because I thought she was so funny and just like personified that character so well, and learning that that is her comedy shtick anyway.
Right.
It's just like so great, so amazing.
I thought she was like fucking fantastic.
Yes.
And she was like a character that I mean, we said this, right? It's like when she's like, doing a podcast is hard. And I was like, you know what? She's right.
It was good. It just, that scene, by the way, was my favorite scene in the entire thing. I think the dialogue was so amazing in that scene. How everybody's talking with each other. They do make a very good they do a really good job of making a commentary on like that we're all fucking idiots and we're all fucking ridiculous and we all talk like that and we all like talk like we're on Twitter all the time. That is slowly but surely becoming the way we speak in this country, right? Like that is going to be in 20 years, that will be like common language.
Right. And I will say they did pull that off really well.
Yeah.
Did you see, I think we talked about this. I can't remember if it was on here or just in passing. There was a tweet that I like, and I try not to subtweet, right? And I don't quote tweet making fun of people, but there was like a guy that like tweeted, it was like, whenever you see someone talk like they're on Twitter too much, that's when you know a gay who's on Twitter too much wrote the movie, because no one talks like that. Yeah. But people do talk like that.
Well, I agree though, to an extent. So there are movies. This is a reason why Brando, he's chewing a whole Coke bottle back there. We already know this. I don't like a TikTok. I don't like modern shit, things that make the movie too timed, like injected into the movie. I hate that. If it's like too time specific, it really annoys me. And I think this did it in such, not even a subtle way, but in the best way that you could do it, right? It's like they're not talking like that all the time. It's just when like those situations happen, or those like points of conversation come up, and then they start talking that way and using those buzzwords. That is how we talk, you know. I for the longest time like fought against the word gaslight. I was like, oh, so stupid. Twitter speak. Buzzword. I fucking love that word because it just, like, that's something that I would describe to people sometimes in scenarios, and you just didn't understand. Like, I didn't know how to describe it, and now I have a word for it, you know? Yeah. Now I have a word for that, and so, but it's still, like, fucking ridiculous because it's overused, and we're, like, oversaturating it, and everybody's using it for everything. Everybody's calling everybody a narcissist. Everybody is, like, when Pete Davidson told his girlfriend, Emma, that, you've never had an original thought in your life, that like attacked me. I'm like, have I ever had an original thought in my life? And it's just so like such a great way to have that commentary without it being too serious, right? Like they did keep it light to an extent.
I guess I think here's my
here's his original thought, guys. Sorry, I don't have one.
I think you describing that reminded me of why I didn't like this movie and why you did. Because I don't mind a modern. Sometimes it is done poorly, but I don't mind a modern technology, speak, or whatever in a movie, because I feel like that's just true to how things are. Sometimes it does feel like someone older than me trying to write a 19-year-old, then it's like, bleh. But I think I don't know that it was even a commentary other than saying, look, you're all so stupid. Yeah. And I don't fucking like, for me, I'm like, you're not clever enough to be calling me stupid or these characters. So like, treat them like humans rather than treating them like they're like idiots. And I guess that's what bothered me because it felt like the use of modern was just to show stupidity, and there was no other reason for the use of modern. And for me, like, I don't know, I read a lot of YA. I'm fucking 39. Like, I don't think insulting youth for using these words is commentary other than like, haha, I'm better than you. Like, for me, that's
Yeah.
like, that's how it reads. Like, I don't think it reads as commentary other
See, for
than you're stupid.
for me, it didn't read like it was calling them stupid at all. It came off as calling everybody they are just they are just of their generation, right? And if this is the way we're learning how to speak, this is the way that we're learning how to speak. Because I didn't think any of them are stupid. Even Alice, I didn't think was stupid. I thought they were all well formed and had their own opinions, reactions, all of that. And it's just where we all get caught in speaking this way and like articulating ourselves this way these days. Like that is just how we are now. And I thought it was really like I took it as more like pointing it out rather than saying they're just idiots and they're stupid. I don't think that they were being painted as idiots just for speaking this way, but I think that we all in our heads know that Twitter speak is a little bit ridiculous sometimes, and I liked that they were calling it out in each other and still doing it themselves, you know? I thought that was really good, is that they were like I was pointing at you, I was telling you that you're doing this, that, and the other, but I'm doing the same exact thing, right? Like Jordan is pointing the gun at all of them and like saying, you know, and you're writing about your fucking feelings and your mother's drinking and all that. Meanwhile, she gets caught. The reason she fucking shoots Alice in the foot is because she said, you are upper middle class.
Right.
You're not
Yeah.
even rags to riches. It's just they all were doing it and doing it to each other and calling it out on each other. And I loved that. I loved it. It was so good to me.
I felt like Pete Davidson's character calling Emma out of like, you never had an original thought.
Mhm.
It felt like he was supposed to be the like voice of the audience. I mean, they made him an idiot too
Yeah.
because of the end, but like it almost felt like he was the writers being like, you're all annoying.
Mhm.
I don't like the way you speak. I don't speak like this because
Yeah.
he didn't really speak like them. He kind of was like, he reminded me of like a Rick and Morty fan who's like, I'm so much smarter because I don't give a shit. I'm like, whatever, like, I'm so whatever. I don't care about feelings. Like, that's, and I know that that was his character, right?
Yeah.
But like, I fucking hate those type. And like, those are like straight guys I encounter over and over and over again, where they think they're smarter than actual smart people. They would definitely look down on a group of women, want one of them to fuck them. And it just felt like, I don't know. For me, that like didn't feel clever.
Okay.
But I did think like the way when they're arguing that I was like, not that I loved it, but I did think that was like the way they intertwined the like that the thing they did was like that did feel like realistic, right? It
Yeah.
did. The way they were like talking and using a lot of those words. And I think there's a point when Emma, I forget which other girl she goes up to, like they're all covered in blood, and she's like, "You're being really toxic right now." And I like
Yeah.
that did make me laugh because it's like you're in the middle, you're all covered in blood, and you're like being like, "Excuse me."
Yeah. So with Pete, I think I just saw it differently. And like this is not me telling you you're wrong. Let's preface this with all that. Just we should have done that at the beginning. You're not wrong for the way you interpret anything, right? I interpreted it as more Pete was being just a fucking dick. He was just a dick to her, and there's no reason he should have been a dick to her at that moment. And she like had this learned way of articulating herself that wasn't wrong. It doesn't mean she's wrong.
Right,
Her feelings are still valid in that way. He's just being an asshole because he's being because he doesn't feel like, you know, the king of the castle at that moment, right?
Right.
But at the same time, he's still participating in that same culture. He still dies because he's doing a fucking TikTok, you know? Like he is just on this. That's what I'm talking about, is like just like Jordan was calling somebody out while she also was participating in the culture, he was calling somebody out while he was also participating in the culture. We just didn't get enough of him to like hear him use a buzzword, you know? But I still like read him as like somebody who is absolutely still participating in the culture, just like everybody else is. And I think that's what I just really like about it. Which one was your favorite character and why?
Oh, Allison.
Or Alice, yeah. Let's
Alice,
go beyond
Alice.
Alice because I feel like we were kind of just. I fucking love Alice. She was just so great. I thought that Sophie was fucking gorgeous. The main
Yes.
girl. I thought she was so pretty throughout this whole thing. She was styled really well. I was fully prepared for her to be a final girl until like maybe thought she might have been a killer. But she looks phenomenal. I think B, I was a little bit less interested in than everybody else.
Yes, I would also agree with that.
Jordan was really cool. And Emma, again, I was a little bit less interested in Emma.
I'm looking at the IMDb list, just so you know. I'm not like
yeah. No. We're looking. We're looking. Greg was funny. Pete Davidson was fine. I'm just gonna call him Pete Davidson instead of David. I don't know. Like, and it's a very short cast. Like, I'm looking through it, and we really don't have any side characters or anything. Max is the only one who just comes in at the very end. And even him, we've been hearing about him the entire movie, that he felt like a character himself that was already there, you know?
I actually kept forgetting. I'd be like, wait, is Max Pete David? Like, because they talked about him so much, I'd be like, wait, which guy that died is he? And I'd be like, oh, wait, no. We haven't even seen him. I think Jordan was my favorite. I felt Sophie and B were a little lackluster to me. Sophie's gorgeous, but they felt their characters felt a little. I don't know, but I think B got one of the best. Like her walking through the house in the dark with the light.
Yeah.
Because the thing I thought about with you, how you always you talk a lot about playing with space, and I thought them not showing us the whole space played with the space really well, so that when it was dark, we didn't know where they were going the same way B didn't know the house, we didn't know the house. So when she's like in the dark, that was very stressful.
We knew our main spaces and our bright spaces, so we knew the stairwell, we knew the living room, and we knew a bit of the kitchen, and everywhere
even
else,
the kitchen had that weird stairwell in it.
And every hallway, we were like, I don't know which room we're going to right now. I don't know what, and I agree with you. I think that was like perfect way to play with the space, because I was fully thinking there was some killer there, and I was like, oh, it could be Max, or it could be one of these girls, it could be any of them. And I don't know.
I love that we agreed on that, because I really immediately thought of you, Zach, because I was bummed once the I think like once the lights went off, I was like, oh, but we didn't see the house enough. And then I was like, oh shit, this works that we didn't see the house enough. Because
it's still playing with the space. It's still, we're still going through the space, but we just don't see enough of the space, you know?
Because like then you're as scared as B is, because you also don't like, she could, at the end of the hallway and there's like a fucking dungeon, you know what I mean? Like, and I thought that was like really, and like, not having any sound except for like a little bit of the storm outside really worked too, right?
Yes. Well, I love that they were in a hurricane. I love the idea of a hurricane party. It makes me immediately want to throw my own hurricane party.
Me, you, Alistair, and Brando.
And I love the little setups that they did. Like the only setup that was like super, super obvious was her pulling the mirror down in the car and like checking her makeup and then leaving, and the light was still on. Like, you just know something's going to happen with that, and the car's going to be dead. That's how they're not going to be able to use the car. But then like the kind of way that they introduce like the dog door, and that, B is like, because it's pretty vicious when they throw her out into the rain and she like can't do anything and she's having this big freak out. I thought that was like so cruel, but it is also like pack mentality that you would expel the one you don't know, right? And so but then we play with space with her. She goes to the car. We see her on the outside of the house. I'm kind of getting a layout of the outside of the house, putting pieces together. And it just works so well in that, because this is a big ass mansion, and I still feel like we only saw a third of it.
Yeah. I felt like there was definitely, because it felt like it was like a sprawling mansion, like compoundy type thing. And did you ever have a friend that had a house like that?
I had several, yes.
I always loved hanging out at those houses, right? It was always like,
but I only ever saw like a couple rooms of those houses. I never saw like the stuff that I wanted to see, right? It was always living rooms and stuff like that, the bar. It was always.
What do you want to see? When
I went to Alabama, those people came from fucking money. The people who were going to Alabama, they were in-state college students. Even though in-state tuition is much cheaper, they all came from like Birmingham money. And I would go to their parents' houses on weekends or like for Thanksgiving, and just fucking massive fucking properties.
Birmingham money means nothing. I'm like, oh sure, yeah. I don't know what
Birmingham money is a lot. There's a lot of Birmingham money. They all had big houses because it's like cheaper in the South too, and so they're just living massive.
One of my friends that actually, we used to play. We would get drunk and play hide and go seek in the dark in the mansion. It was so fucking fun. Yeah. I would get scared every time. I would get scared because the dark.
Have you ever smoked weed and played hide and seek?
No, I think that would stress me out.
No, I fucking loved it. I loved it because I get tired when I smoke weed anyway, and so playing hide and seek like gives me stimulation, like gives me something to do, and it was so fucking. It was like one of the funnest nights I've ever had. they have a hurricane party. They're taking drugs. Some of them are taking drugs. Some of them are, not and supposed to be.
Right.
I loved the little setup with Sophie that she's, this addict who's like coming in and she didn't tell anybody. I thought that was going to be
Yeah.
why she was the killer. I was like, well, nobody knows
okay.
that she was there. She can leave and nobody would have known she was there. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say that like was gonna be a big plot point with like at the end. Like I kind of thought that was gonna go like it didn't really go anywhere, right? Like
It didn't, and I have to believe that was more deliberate. That just kind of mislead us, right? I don't think that was some thought that just they didn't ever think would lead it to anything.
I don't say like it didn't go anywhere because like I was annoyed. It's just like I felt they put a lot of character work in, and then also people were dying. It wasn't like the character work wasn't part of the dying or horror.
And they didn't have to put all that character work in. I think it would have even like they could have left it. They could have just made it some teens dying in a house movie, But they did put a lot of work into all of their characters and through dialogue, and it made it that much better because I did really like Sophie and I liked her journey and I liked that she was this addict, but I also liked that everybody was kind of warning that her, be about her, and I was like, I believe it. She's a horrible person. I already know it. I know she's a horrible person just because she is just a horrible person. She has to be.
And like I knew Jordan wasn't lying about those texts either.
Oh
like,
no, I don't think there's a question in anybody's mind. Even B, I loved at the very end that B like already knew that Jordan was lying about it, but at this point everybody's dead and you just want to see it.
Right, yeah.
Like I just want to see the motherfucking text message, okay? I watched this twice and the first time I missed when she goes in the car and finds the panties, because remember in the room she finds the bra and looks at it, and then in the car she finds the panties, and I thought the B had carried that with her, but no, the panties were just left in Sophie's car because they fucked in the car.
Oh, I thought it was that she put them in. Okay,
I thought so too. I thought she was creepy, and I think she is creepy, but I think she found both sets. Is what it is. She found the top part and the bottom part. Thought that was fucking brilliant. The binge eating thing, I was like, yeah, well, get it. You get stressed and you just want to eat. Go hang out at the food court all day.
No judgment. no judgment from either of us.
It's just we got in an 1.5 hour movie. It doesn't happen all that often that we get so much from every character. So
yeah, cool. And like also like Jordan's last dying breath being like, check those fucking texts. That would be me. I'd be that petty where I'd be like, actually, Zach, you were wrong about this.
Check her texts.
Like I would be that petty.
And it was just good. It's just like nobody. That's the most hilarious part of this movie, is that 0 people had to die. Nobody had to die, and everybody fucking died. And it's fucking wild, and they are totally fucked, Or they maybe not, because
I don't know. Blame it on someone. I feel like they're all dead. Blame someone who died, right?
Max is the one that has the injury on his face. They were never there. Nobody ever knew that they were coming. So,
well, and like there was a second when and this is so stupid. There was a second at the end there when she went over to Pete Davidson. I was like, wait, was I wrong? And this was a Saul thing, and he's been alive this whole time. He's just like,
I did think that.
Waiting?
I did think that.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was something like that. I was like, what did he do? He was the murderer all along. But I genuinely, like you said, you called it halfway through the movie. I genuinely did not see the twist coming. And I thought it was like, and that's probably why it worked for me so well. It's just because I loved it. And when it just starts and he's doing a fucking TikTok and he has to swear, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, nobody had to die. Nobody had to die.
I do like the idea that like, that was the thing I did like, is that like, oh, he died, he hated Lee Pace so much because like I've been in those groups where there's only like 2 straight guys and they like get all like stupidly chest puffy about it, and it's like, everyone relax. And I love that he like hated him so much, but he wanted to like do what he did.
He was like, I could do that shit. When he fucking says he says, I think I'm hotter than him. He's
like, I look like I fuck. He doesn't.
It was just so funny. It's fucking so funny. The writing in this was so good. The directing, I thought the camera work was so great. Also, like the camera work, it truly made us feel like we were another character in this movie, going along through these hallways with them and all of that. And I have to say, if there was any time I ever wanted to be on a movie set, it was this one, because they seemed like they probably had the best fucking time filming this movie. It probably was so much fun.
I was say, it probably was like a party.
Most likely. Have you been? I followed all of them on Instagram right after I saw this movie, and they all are posting all these behind the scenes photos and everything, and it just looks fucking hilarious. It's so fun. There's just blood everywhere, and they have like glow sticks, and it looks like a good time. So
That's how we have to dress when we do our first My Bloody Judy live.
we should. I know there's like nothing they can do with this like Get movie, but I think it's still like. I want to. You know what I want to see? Alistair said this. I want to see a prequel of The Night Before when Pete Davidson and Max get in a fight over this. Like, cause it just. I don't know. I love the party part. Also, I have to throw out everything I love about it. Sorry, guys. They played 212 at the best fucking time, and that is one of my favorite fucking party songs by Azalea Banks, our homophobic queen. And it just works so well. They have the Charlie XCX song at the very end, but I still really like it. I just wish it would have been in the movie. The music was like fantastic. I don't know. Just 5 out of 5 for me. It's my new comfort movie. Can't wait till it comes out.
Why do you think it was marketed as a horror movie?
I don't even think necessarily it was. I don't know if I would even agree that it was. I think the only thing that they say is bodies, bodies, bodies. By the way, another thing I loved when she says, "Let's play bodies, bodies, bodies," and you hear Alice go, "Yes!" I want her to be my best friend. I need that sort of excitement for anything. If we say, "Let's play tag," we didn't even see her. We just heard her scream from off.
I did think that was really funny.
That's the person you want in your group, right? Like, you just need a person like that. But the trailer, I think that's what the trailer hinged on, was that the game, right? They do bodies, 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 and then, did you think that Greg was actually the bodies, bodies, bodies dead guy?
What do you mean?
Because at first Greg was playing dead, right? And then they over.
Yes,
did you think he was actually dead?
Yeah.
Okay. I did too.
Because I knew him and Pete Davidson had to die first because they're the most famous people in the movie and they're not in the trailer that much. So I knew that they had to be because I figured at that point was when I hadn't figured it out. And I was like, either he's dead or he's the killer, is what I was thinking.
Yeah. So I thought he was, but maybe I'll have to watch the trailer again because I know I watched the first one and I didn't watch anything after that. And so I think it was just social media telling me that it was like
that could have been, yeah.
And social media was saying, it's don't go in expecting a slasher. It's a murder mystery.
Oh, I didn't see that at all on social media. I've only seen that starting today.
I was good to go. I think I was good to go once I saw that because maybe I would have had a different opinion had I watched it thinking it was a slasher.
Because
I don't know.
I feel like I saw it compared to Scream, and so I think I was just.
Oh, see, I didn't see that.
Hold on. I think.
I believe you. I fully believe you.
Yeah, I guess I don't know, and I really do think that like what kind of spoiled my like viewing experience. Just because
I will never tell you I love a movie ever again. I will never say that. It just like made me really hype, and like I really want a. I'm starting to reach my older years where I've been out of college for a good while now, and I miss the days where we were just fucking stupid and we would get drunk and play like hide and seek around our apartment complex and just do stupid shit like that. I need that before I turn 30 again. I need a group of people in a house and we all just fuck around. So
I mean, it did make me, like I said, I had a friend who like used to have a house like that where we would like get drunk and like whatever. And that did make me miss that shit. I mean, but fucking, I'm 39 and I still miss that shit. I'm still like,
we can still do that. We can do it. It's okay.
Everyone stop being boring and married. God, have fun. And like, everyone is married. And
drop the kids off with the babysitter and we'll play Manhunt outside. Did you ever play Manhunt?
Yeah.
Manhunt was fucking fun. I love Manhunt.
We used to play that on our street.
Yeah, we used to, all of our parents, we had a cul-de-sac, and so all of our parents would do poker night in my garage on Fridays and like Saturday nights, and all the kids would come over, and we would all go outside and play Manhunt, because we had this big, like behind our houses, there was nothing. It was just like trees and baseball fields and like a park, and so we'd go play Manhunt out there, and I would always hide in like the pine trees, and like climb as far up as I can and just like sit there. It's just fucking fun, man. I miss playing. Why can't adults play? We should be able to play.
Have I told you that before? That's I feel like that's the energy I describe as you and I when we record together. It's like, it feels like, for me, it's like almost that energy of like playing when you're a kid.
We need to do that. We're going to get a house one day. We're going to get a house for a weekend and we're just going to play. That's what we're gonna do, and
All right.
everybody else is invited. You want to come? Drop us a DM. But I don't know. What would you rate this movie? Because you liked it, you didn't love it, but you can't have hated it.
No, yeah, I think like either 2.5 or 3 out of 5.
I'm gonna take 3 out of 5. I won't accept 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Well, those are fighting words. I'm gonna do 5 out of 5 because I fucking loved it, and yeah, I guess that's it. That's all. Yeah, let us know if you like Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Have you seen it yet, or did you just sit through this entire review and now you know everything? We let us know, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye.